Hi everyone, today we are back at it and we are going to be talking about your first major assignment in this course. So what we're going to do is go over here to the Assignments tab and we're going to click on the Expressive Essay folder. Once you're in here, hopefully you've already looked at the information about the rhetorical triangle and about genre and what that means. So now we're going to take a look at the Expressive Essay description. So that'll probably open up as a Word document like this, which is great. Sorry, it's going to take just a second for my Word to kick on here. So the expressive essay is the first assignment that we consider major assignment, and that's because it is a longer assignment. So basically in this class, you're going to be writing 4 major assignments. The expressive essay is the first one, and it's nice because it gets to be you talking about you, so it makes you feel a little bit more comfortable with writing. So you get to use your voice, but you also are expected to incorporate basic elements of storytelling, including dialogue. I'd like you to make at least 1 attempt at dialogue within your expressive essay. Setting, time, place, location, where are you, what year is it, what city are you in, that type of thing. Sensory description and detail, tone and mood, climax, narrative action, metaphor and simile, please try at least 1 of each, and meaning and moral significance. So as I said, it's your chance to tell a story about you based on your life. The rough draft can be about 3 to 4 pages, but we want you to get to a good 4 to 6 pages of expression, and by using your sensory detail, which you've practiced earlier, you should be able to get there. Just to kind of spark some ideas for you, you can tell about an event in your life that was difficult or challenging, some traumatic situation that you experienced, a trip that you took that may have had significance to you, any childhood memory that you'd like to discuss or describe, or maybe it was a person who either left your life or entered your life and made a big impact there. So those are some suggestions. You don't have to go with any of those. You can certainly go with anything else that you would like. If you have questions about your topic and you want to verify that your topic will work well, just shoot me an email and I will get back to you. First drafts and final essay due dates will be announced in the course site, so please hang in there. You will be doing some rough draft evaluation with your peers, so you will be expected to post the rough draft so that you'll be assigned a peer to work with that will help you give some feedback on your assignment. And that will pretty much be the case for all the major assignments in this class. Next, we're going to go in and we're going to take a look back in our expressive essay folder. And we're going to go through the expressive writing notes PowerPoint. Now, for a good example of excellent storytelling, after this, I'd really like you to read the 100 miles an hour upside down and sideways story that was posted in the course site. It's an excellent example of expressive writing and is inspirational to those of you who want to try to mimic what Rick Bragg does in his essay about a car accident that he was involved with. So please read that after you're done with the expressive writing PowerPoint. So what is expressive writing? So it's also called narration or narrative writing. It's the process of putting an author's words, thoughts, feelings, experiences, whether it's real or imaginative, into paper. It's supposed to be entertaining. Hopefully it will be entertaining by the time you're done with it. It carries meaning and moral significance. Sometimes, not always. Sometimes it's just a story. There should be an arc to it. There should definitely be a beginning where you kind of set what's going on in the story, then the middle, where you're kind of building up to the action, and then maybe some type of climax, some climactic action, and then an ending that has some type of closure to it. Expressive writing examples, if we're talking genre here, can be a screenplay, Harry Potter like a novel, short stories, song lyrics or expressive writing examples, poetry, all of these above are expressive writing examples. Kurt Vonnegut was an American writer and had a very, very long, fruitful career. including works like Slaughterhouse-Five and The Cat's Cradle, Breakfast of Champions. Those are all some of his works. He gives some description and detail about telling a good story. There's a YouTube link on the PowerPoint. I'm not going to play that for you now, but if you would like to, you can take a look at Kurt Vonnegut as he smokes a cigarette, talking about telling a good story and how you do that. So how do you start? So this entails you kind of taking a trip down memory lane, again, thinking about a life, an event in your life that was difficult, maybe some health-related situation, trip, childhood memory, a person who came in or left your life, any of those things. It can be happy, it can be sad, it can be joyful, it can be tragic. You know, you get to decide out of all these years that you've lived your life, you get to pick about one thing that you want to write about. So sometimes it may help if you do a mind map for a couple different ideas. So if you have maybe 2 or 3 ideas that you're thinking about, put that idea in the center of a blank sheet of page in a circle, and then just mind map out all the details, all the people, all the circumstances, what you think the climax of the action was, and just kind of mind map it out. Think how far out you can go on that mind map, and that might help you decide whether or not that's a story that you can get 4 to 6 pages out of when it comes to detail. So elements of the genre of expressive writing include purpose. So what little bit of insight are you passing along with your audience? Mood, what is the atmosphere you're setting? Again, is it fun? Is it quirky? Is it inspirational? Is it sad? Is it tragic? Those are all things that you get to decide. Tone is like, again, your author's attitude towards what your subject matter is that you're talking about. And then all the other things that we've been discussing, like dialogue, setting, metaphor, simile, place and time, mood, sensory description and detail, all of those things that have to be factored in. There is another link here below that you can watch a little bit of information about the writing process and crafting your own tone and mood. We talk about universal themes when it comes to expressive writing because typically there are things that are universal to all human beings: joy, love, pain, sadness. Those are universal themes that we can all relate to. Birth, death, and taxes are also some of those. You can take those universal themes and apply them to your story. They help the reader relate to your story. They help the reader grasp what you're trying to say, and it makes it so that it's something worth sharing. So other tools, other things that you can decide to use is, although your writing doesn't require resources, it's a good idea to maybe interview or talk to people that were around you at the time. It helps you build the context of the story, and context can be kind of that truthiness. So maybe you want to consider, let's say it happened in November of an election year, so go back, think about who was elected president. That adds like that fact to it, that truthiness to your story. You know, looking at things that may have been around back then that aren't any longer. So maybe, you know, you're talking about a store that closed, but back then it was open, you know, something like that. That adds context to the story, and that can be really important. You'll see that in the Rick Bragg essay. He talks about things like the Piggly Wiggly, which is a grocery store unique to the South, and other details and specific information that adds that truthiness and that believability and that context to the story. If you have questions and you're contemplating a couple different ideas for your story, you can certainly email me. Otherwise, go ahead and start mind mapping out there. You can do the mind map. There's also an outline for the expressive essay, and that is in the course site as well. Take a look at that, and happy writing.